What if the women who once lived behind the bamboo blinds of Japan's Heian court could look back at us today? Welcome to History Reborn AI. History remembers them by black hair, layered silk, love poems, and quiet power. But behind that beauty were cold marriages, thrones that changed hands, deaths in childbirth, and true names that vanished into silence. Tonight we bring 20 faces back from the shadows of a vanished empire, and the final name will be the greatest mystery of all. Stay until the end, because the truth behind these portraits only grows darker. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Number 20. A woman sits behind a bamboo screen, lost in the dark, holding a letter for a man who will never return. This was Ukon, a court woman of 10th century Heian, Japan, attendant to Empress Shōshi, her true name already lost. Her verse survives in the Ogura Hyakunin issue and Woodblock prints by Utagawa Kuniyoshi. Let artificial intelligence rebuild the face the record never kept. The public remembers her elegant sorrow. The colder truth is that her most famous poem reads as a curse against a man who broke his vow, though his identity was never confirmed. She turned heartbreak into immortal verse. His promise disappeared. Her curse is still alive. Number 19. A woman kneels by a window after rain, her sleeve damp, her eyes proud and wounded at once. This was Sagami, born around the year 1000. A poet of the Middle Heian period, whose family origins and death remain disputed. Her private poetry collection and place in the Hyakunin issue tradition, including prints at the British Museum, give artificial intelligence enough foundation for reconstruction. The court praised her gift for turning private wounds into elegant language. The colder truth is that in her world, love brought no salvation, only rumor and a price paid by the woman alone. She kept her poems. She may never have reclaimed her own story. Number 18. A court woman answers a joke with a verse so sharp it outlives every emperor she served. This was Suo no Naishi, active in the late 11th and early 12th centuries. Her exact birth and death dates uncertain. Woodblock portraits in the Hyakunin issue tradition, now held at the Worcester Art Museum and the British Museum, allow her reconstruction. Legend remembers her wit, bold enough to turn a flirtatious moment when she offered a borrowed arm as a pillow into timeless poetry. The colder truth is that after decades of service, tradition claims illness finally forced her into a convent. The court remembers one spring night. It nearly forgot every year she gave before it. Number 17. A young court woman receives a branch of cherry blossoms from the ancient capital, and for one instant, the whole palace turns to watch her. This was Ise no Taifu, an 11th century poet serving Empress Shōshi. She belongs to the tradition of poet portraits, including works in Hokusai's Hyakunin issue series, giving artificial intelligence a foundation built on centuries of artistic memory. The public remembers her single triumphant verse about Nara's cherry blossoms. The colder truth is that this one bright moment nearly swallowed the rest of her life, her talent forever standing in the shadow of names like Murasaki Shikibu. A poem can open a palace door. It could not stop the woman who wrote it from disappearing behind it. Number 16. A noblewoman stares across a field of autumn reeds beneath the moon, composed yet hollow with waiting. This was Lady Ice. Active from the late 9th into the early 10th century, dated roughly to the years 875 through 938. She belongs to the 36 immortals of poetry, appearing across generations of portrait tradition, including a hokusai print showing her by a window. The public remembers a passionate noblewoman entwined with court romance. The colder truth is that her relationships with imperial men meant her image was told through them, while her gift as a poet was too often diminished. History kept the beauty by the window. No one kept what she was waiting for. Number 15. A daughter sits before an open manuscript, and behind her drifts the shadow of the greatest novelist her world would ever produce. This was Daini no Sanmi, born around 999, daughter of Murasaki Shikibu, active in 11th century court life. Poet portraits and calligraphy fragments attributed to her allow a reconstruction combining face, brushwork, and costume. The public remembers her as a gifted lady in waiting and nurse to a future emperor. The colder truth is her name almost never appears without the words daughter of Murasaki attached, and one unproven theory claims she helped finish her mother's unfinished masterpiece. She inherited the greatest legacy of the court. That legacy made her nearly invisible. Number 14. A quiet scholar sits among unrolled chronicles, ink still wet, but the name on the page left blank. This was Akazome Emon, born in the late 950s, living until at least 1041, a poet of the Fujiwara household. She appears across generations of poet portraiture, including a later Tsukiyoka Yoshitoshi woodblock print. The public remembers a devoted wife, a reliable court woman, gentle where others seemed consumed by passion. The colder truth is that some historians believe she helped compose the opening of the Eiga Monogatari, though authorship was never confirmed. Her discretion let her endure at court, but it dissolved her individuality into silence. She may have written history. History was never certain it wrote her name back. Number 13. A young poet stands amid a poetry contest, holding a letter steady, her calm gaze meeting mockery head-on. This was Koshikibu no Naishi, who lived from around 999 to 1025, daughter of Izumi Shikibu. She appears across Hyakunin Isshu portrait sets, including a print now held at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. The public remembers her mocked for supposedly letting her famous mother secretly write her verses. The colder truth is that she answered the insult with a brilliant improvised poem, proving her gift before the court, yet she died around the age of 26. She won her name with a single poem, and then ran out of time to write the rest of her life. Number 12. A young woman kneels before an unrolled scroll of the tale of Genji, certain her own life will someday shine just as brightly. This was Lady Sarashina, daughter of Sugawara no Takasue, born around 1008, her personal name lost, author of the Sarashina Nikki. Illustrated copies of her diary and amaki depicting 11th century noblewomen allow her reconstruction. The public remembers a girl enchanted by fiction. Certain adulthood would glow like her favorite novel. The colder truth is that adulthood brought loss, deaths within her family, and the realization that real life could never rise to meet the stories that once saved her. She lived for stories. Then her own story did not end the way she had dreamed. Number 11. A court woman sits through a long night, her dark hair loose across silk. The corridor behind her slowly swallowed by shadow. This was Taikenmonin no Horikawa. Active in the first half of the 12th century, serving Empress Taikenmonin, most details of her life unrecorded. She belongs to the tradition of the 100 poets. Remembered through a hokusai print, an imaginative later portrait. The public remembers a courtwoman, wondering whether love could ever last, or whether it was as fragile as tangled hair after one night. The colder truth is her entire identity was built from the name of the mistress she served. She asked whether love could change. Her own name was changed by time long before love ever was. Number 10. A woman stands split between two worlds, one wrapped in the white and crimson of a sacred shrine, the other buried beneath 12 layered robes of the imperial court. This was Saigu no Nyogo, Princess Kishi, who lived from around 929 to 985, once high priestess at the grand shrine of Ise, before becoming a consort of Emperor Murakami. She stands among the 36 immortals of poetry. Her portraits preserved in collections, including the Smithsonian. The public remembers a learned princess stepping from sacred ground into the poetic heart of the palace. The colder truth is, her life was decided by ritual and politics alone. The shrine called her sacred. The palace only ever saw a piece of power. Number 9. A woman watches an empty road for a visitor who never comes. Her lamp nearly out, her diary open on her lap. This was the woman history remembers only as Michitsuna's mother, who lived from around 935 to 995. Her true name erased, known only through her son. Her work, the Kagero Nikki, records nearly 20 years of marriage and inner life, offering rare material for reconstructing her face and state of mind. The public remembers her as a pioneer of Japanese women's confessional writing. The colder truth is her diary centers on an unhappy marriage to a powerful, often absent man, quietly shattering the myth of romantic court love. He became one of the most powerful men in Japan. She could not even keep her own name. Number 8. A young empress cradles her infant son, her gaze calm, while behind her the shadow of her father falls across every palace door. This was Empress Shōshi, later known as Jotomonin, who lived from 988 to 1074, daughter of Fujiwara no Michinaga, consort of Emperor Ichijo. She appears in the Murasaki Shikibu Nikki Amaki, a scroll painted generations after her lifetime. The public remembers her as patron of a literary golden age, gathering Murasaki Shikibu and Izumi Shikibu around her. The colder truth is she entered court as a child in her father's strategy for power, elevated to empress while Teishi still held that title. Her father lifted her to the throne. The price was a childhood spent as part of his ambition. Number 7. A princess stands in a shrine corridor, a red gate rising in the distance, an unsent poem held tightly in her hand. This was Princess Shikishi, who lived from 1149 to 1201, daughter of Emperor Go Shirakawa, a late Heian poet who served as high priestess at the Kamo shrine before later taking Buddhist vows. She appears in portrait traditions of the 36 female immortals and the Hyakunin Ishu. The public remembers a princess in isolation, writing fierce poetry despite a life bound by ritual. The colder truth is some scholars once proposed a romance with poet Fujiwara no Teika. though tradition offers this without confirmed evidence. Her poems ached for closeness. Her rank sealed her behind distance. Number 6. A palace glows with laughter and wordplay, an empress smiling at its center, unaware the lanterns behind her are quietly going dark. This was Empress Teishi, also read as Sadako, who lived from 977 to 1001, consort of Emperor Ichijo and patron of Sei Shōnagon. She stands at the center of the Pillow Book and appears in illustrated scrolls of court life. The public remembers a radiant empress surrounded by wit and gifted women. The colder truth is that after her father's death, her family lost power, and Michinaga elevated his own daughter as a rival empress. Teishi died shortly after childbirth, near the age of 24. Literature preserved her laughter. History only kept the room after everyone had left it. Number 5. A face divided by light, one side young and radiant, the other worn by legend into ruin. This was Ono no Komachi, a 9th century poet of the early Heian period, whose exact birth, death, and biography remain almost entirely uncertain. Counted among the 6 poetic immortals, she is Japan's most famous symbol of beauty, surviving through paintings, statues, and no dramas, though none can be called authentic. The public remembers a peerless beauty who inspired men to madness with verses of passion. The colder truth is legend, later invented a version of her as old and impoverished, a Buddhist tale about the decay of beauty, not confirmed biography. History never knew her true face. It still uses an imagined one to judge her life. Number 4. A woman sits beside a lamp surrounded by letters, while the cushion across from her and the seat where her daughter once sat both remain empty. This was Izumi Shikibu, born in the 970s, dead by the 1030s, a poet and attendant to Empress Shōshi. She appears across generations of poet portraiture and left writing rich with emotion about love, grief, and court life. The public remembers a woman who loved with overwhelming intensity. The colder truth is her diary links her to 2 imperial princes, drawing judgment, and one great love, Prince Atsumichi, died young. Her own daughter died soon after, in her 20s as well. The world remembers the men she loved. Her poetry remembers every time she survived losing them. Number 3. A sharp-eyed woman leans over her writing beneath a screen, a world of wit and beauty dissolving into an empty room behind her. This was Sei Shōnagon, born around 966, most active in the late 10th and early 11th centuries. Her true name and date of death unconfirmed. Author of the Pillow Book. She appears across the Hyakunin Isshu and illustrated scrolls of the era. The public remembers her as sharp, proud, wickedly funny, gifted at finding beauty in small detail. The colder truth is that after Teishi's death and the collapse of her faction, Sei's later life faded into darkness, and legends claiming she died in poverty remain unconfirmed. She wrote down every moment that moved her heart. She never wrote the moment her own world stopped existing. Number 2. A mother watches the sea swallow her son, her family, and her empire in a single afternoon, and somehow she survives it. This was Taira no Tokuko, later Kenraimon In, who lived from 1155 into the early 13th century, daughter of Taira no Kiyomori, mother of Emperor Antoku. She appears in illustrations of the Heike Monogatari, and historical paintings of the Battle of Dan no Ura. The public remembers an empress who survived a battle that destroyed her family. The colder truth is that at Dan no Ura in 1185, her young son died with much of her clan, and tradition claims she also leapt into the sea, but was pulled back by her hair. The sea took her son, her family, and her empire. The one thing it left her was a mother forced to keep living. Number 1. A woman leans over an unfinished manuscript at dawn, and behind her, an entire imagined world rises like smoke, more vivid than the woman who created it. This was Murasaki Shikibu, born around 973, dead around 1014 or later, the exact dates disputed, a court woman to Empress Shōshi and author of the Tale of Genji. She possesses the richest visual legacy on this list, yet no image is confirmed as her true face. The public remembers a quiet genius who created one of the world's first novels. The colder truth is that Murasaki Shikibu was never her real name, and her husband died only 2 years into their marriage, leaving her with a young daughter. The world knows Genji's heart better than the face of the woman who gave it to him. Her true name and true ending vanished behind the screen. They once lived behind layers of silk and silence, but the pain never truly faded. This has been History Reborn AI, where the quiet faces of history are seen once more.